Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Philippine tourism industry Convergence reception. May we invite everyone to please remain standing for the singing of the Philippine national anthem, to be led by Ms. Ava Santos, and shall be followed by the invocation to be led by Father Jose Kilong Kilo.
Sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magiging. Lumalang ang at tinig sila, tumayangit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya na paglay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Blessed are you, Lord our God, for you have created a wide and wonderful world in which we can enjoy, travel, and tour around. We ask your blessing upon us in this joyful gathering of Philippine tourism industry Convergence. We ask your blessing upon us in this joyful gathering of Philippine tourism industry Convergence reception. We have experienced how our tourism industry was paralyzed by COVID-19 pandemic, described by the World Tourism Organization as the worst experienced by the travel tourism sector in 40 years. Amidst the continuing threat of the pandemic, our gathering this evening is filled with great faith in your unfailing providence for our needs as we foster unity in Philippine tourism industry. Though tourism has been one of the human activities most severely affected by this pandemic crisis, paradoxically, it can now become one of the engines of reconstruction of a more just, sustainable, and integral world. Thus, our gathering tonight looks at rebirth and renewal of tourism as well with the eyes of hope. We commend to you, O Lord, the special intentions of our government leaders, led by our President, His Excellency Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., and in particular our Tourism Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco, all our tourism officials, public and private stakeholders, suppliers, organizers, and creative partners in the industry. All of us here are in convergence for Philippine tourism to offer an integral experience for our visitors, that they may be filled with wonder as they travel and experience the myriad beauty of our country. As our tourist guests encounter a Filipino brand of hospitality, may we offer them an integral vision of the person, which, as Pope Francis points out, is not a theory, but a way of living and acting. This vision is not found first of all in a manual, but in people who live in this style, with their eyes open to the world, with their hands holding other hands, with their hearts sensitive to the weaknesses of their brothers and sisters. May the blessing of your holy name, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, be upon all of us and all our endeavors. Amen.
We may now be seated.
mabuhay at maayong hapon sa inyong tanan. I am Denise Densay and welcome to the Philippine Tourism Convergence Reception, an industry convergence gathering. Now that the borders are opening up and everyone is very eager to explore the different wonders, the opportunity to boost the growth of the Philippine economy through tourism is really big. That's why the Department of Tourism, led by Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco, brings us all together to this night of celebration and commitment to the country's efforts of revitalizing and catalyzing the recovery of the travel and tourism. Now, to formally begin our program, may we call on Tourism of Undersecretary Shalimar Hofer Tamano to deliver his welcome remarks. Sir?
President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, Vice President Sara Z. Duterte, Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco, Secretary Manuel Bunoan, Secretary Alfredo Pascual, Secretary Bianca Zubel, Chairman Carlo Nograles, O Administrator Arnel Ignacio, Governor Gwen Garcia, Deputy Speaker Duke Frasco, Deputy Speaker Raymond Mendoza, Congressman Sandro Marcos, and other members of the House of Representatives of the 19th Congress, mayors and vice mayors present here tonight, our tourism industry leaders and stakeholders, officials of the Department of Tourism, my fellow workers in government, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. After 2 years of isolation and uncertainty, we are delighted to see everyone here, eager to rebuild the industry we love and our country together. This will happen through grit and hard work, both from the public and private stakeholders. The presence of our tourism champion himself, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., our First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, and our Vice President Sara Duterte underlines the importance of this gathering. This new chapter, we work closely towards the realization of our vision of our leaders, abundance of business and livelihood opportunities, and emphasizing the Filipino brand. The past 3 months with Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco, we witnessed a flurry of activities all over the country with a style that is consultative, collaborative, inclusive. The Department of Tourism and its attached agencies, partners in government, our private players, several programs have been launched almost every week. For a sector that used to account for more than 12% of the Philippines' gross domestic product, tourism promises to deliver a significant contribution to our economic revival. This new direction intends to make institutional changes, one that brings the department closest to the heart of the industry, our provinces, cities, municipalities, where our products are conceived and developed and made sustainable by our local chief executives who are amongst us here tonight, our legislators, national agencies on the ground, and all private sector partners. Tonight as well, we will show you how Governor Gwen Garcia transformed the province of Cebu to what it is now, a world-renowned tourism hub. So, ladies and gentlemen, let this reception firm up our commitment to build a stronger and sturdier industry. On behalf of the Tourism Department, it is my pleasure to welcome you all. Thank you very much. Daghang salamat and mabuhay.
Thank you, Undersecretary Tamano. May we request everyone to please direct your attention to the screen for a short video presentation.
To foster the Filipino brand is to spark our sense of pride and reaffirm our strong sense of identity. It is time to welcome the rest of the world with an enhanced Filipino brand that is unique, attractive, and creative. This program will be led by the Department of Tourism together with...
Guided by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s vision for the tourism industry to be an engine for the Philippines' economic resurgence post-pandemic, the Department of Tourism has embarked in an aggressive campaign to revive the tourism industry. Upon her assumption of office on June 30, Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco immediately engaged with tourism stakeholders across the country through her listening tours, which gave the tourism chief first-hand insight on the prevailing challenges faced by the industry. Anticipating the influx of foreign tourists, Frasco has begun fulfilling President Marcos's objective to enhance the overall tourist experience, starting with the establishment of 10 tourist rest areas in various locations across the country to serve the needs of our traveling guests. Guided by President Marcos Jr.'s vision for the tourism industry to contribute to gainful livelihood and generate employment, Secretary Frasco partnered with the Department of Labor and Employment and mounted the first ever Philippine Tourism Job Fair. With the theme Trabajo, Turismo, Ascenso, the job fair offered more than 9,000 tourism jobs across the country in its first leg and is expected to match more job seekers to tourism employment opportunities. The Department of Tourism started the conversation with the Department of Transportation to further enhance the visitor experience by proposing to introduce practical and aesthetic changes in all major sea and airports of the country by introducing the Filipino brand and, more importantly, facilitating a seamless and stress-free travel experience for guests. A multi-awarded local chief executive prior to her appointment, among Secretary Frasco's first directives is for the department to reach out to LGUs across the country. True to her commitment to be a listening tourism chief, Secretary Frasco has met with the Tourism Congress of the Philippines and stakeholders from the hospitality, accommodation, the aviation, transport, and the local and national government, as well as players in gastronomy, fashion, and the media in and outside the country, all to ensure an inclusive and well-rounded approach that will ensure the success of the department's endeavors. Under the Marcos administration, the Department of Tourism intends to focus on connectivity, convenience, and equality, with the following objectives: improving tourism infrastructure and accessibility, establish a cohesive and comprehensive digitalization and connectivity, enhancement of overall tourist experience, equalization of tourism product development and promotion, diversification of portfolio through multidimensional tourism, maximization of domestic tourism, strengthening tourism governance through close collaboration with LGUs and stakeholders, putting premium on the Marcos administration's priority for tourism development and through consultative, inclusive, and collaborative engagement with the objective of heralding the Filipino brand across the globe. The Philippines is poised to take a primary position as a tourism powerhouse in Asia.
May we call on Tourism Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco to deliver her message and to introduce our keynote speaker.
Maayong gabi kaninyong tanan. Good evening. We are deeply humbled and honored by your presence here tonight as we usher in a new era for the Philippine tourism industry. This evening is made even more special and meaningful with the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. And our beloved First Lady, Attorney Liza Araneta Marcos. This evening is truly one of convergence and unity, as our beloved Vice President Inday Sara Duterte also joins us this evening. Daghan kayong salamat. Mr. President, in choosing a Cebuana to lead the Department of Tourism, you have put primacy on the importance that tourism can play in the country's economic recovery. As the successful model for this has been Cebu, led by Governor Gwen Garcia. The tourism industry has long had enormous potential to fuel the engine of our country's economic growth. Harnessed in the right way and in a manner that is inclusive, sustainable, proactive, and collaborative, we transform the industry so that it can rise to its full potential, ready to pivot, to innovate, to prevail over the challenges of our time. I am delighted to announce that with the collective effort of everyone in this hall and our stakeholders from all over the country, as of October 16, 2022, we have received 1,767,791 international arrivals, exceeding the 1.7 million visitors for 2022 previously projected by the DOT prior to June 30. Under the leadership of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., your Department of Tourism is committed to build on the industry's current gains and vows to work relentlessly towards ushering the Philippines into a primary tourism position in the ASEAN and the world. Tonight, allow me to take you through the work done by the Marcos administration, together with the hard-working men and women of the Department of Tourism in these first 110 days, and all that is to come in the years ahead. We embarked on listening tours across the country to get the pulse of the people, to listen to industry concerns and gather inputs for further tourism improvement. The work we have done these past few months is reflective of our efforts to respond to these insights and has aided us greatly in crafting policies and plans that are responsive to the industry itself. And as we have reached out our hand of collaboration to all of you, we thank you for attending this Philippine tourism industry convergence reception and responding to our call to gather, to unite as one for a Philippine tourism industry that exemplifies the Filipino brand and stimulates national pride. Underscoring the LGU's crucial role in tourism growth, among my first directives as tourism chief was for all of our regional offices and our attached agencies of the Department of Tourism to reach out to all our local government units within their regions. Coming from my experience in local government, I fully appreciate the necessity of giving a voice to our local government units so that national policies may be crafted in a manner that is responsive to the needs of our local government units and effective in terms of implementation. Over the course of the past few months, we have clearly laid down the 7 main objectives and 3 key strategies of the Department of Tourism to correspond to the directive of our President to ensure that vis-a-vis our ASEAN neighbors, we improve the enabling mechanisms for tourism to flourish in the country. To enhance connectivity into and around the country, we're working closely with the Department of Transportation in terms of the resumption of pre-pandemic routes to minimize congestion in major ports and the opening of new domestic and international routes. We have held dialogues with our aviation partners to enlist their support for the strategy to increase accessibility to Philippine tourism destinations. To facilitate travelers' convenience, we have broken ground on tourist rest areas all over the country to cater to travelers' needs, especially when they need clean restrooms, as well as a place to rest in between journeys. These tourist rest areas will adopt the use of local materials and design elements, and the facilities will be equipped with an information center and a pasalubong center to showcase the variety of Filipino products proudly made in the Philippines. Recently, we held groundbreaking ceremonies in Manolo Fortich, Bukidnon, Samal Island in Davao del Norte, as well as in the municipalities of Carmen and Medellin in Cebu. We hope to finish breaking ground on at least 10 tourist rest areas this year as we proceed to Baguio, Ilocos Norte, Palawan, and Bohol. No less than President Bongbong Marcos has underscored the importance of tourism as an important economic development tool to provide an abundance of opportunities for Filipinos. Last September, we launched the Trabajo Turismo Ascenso Philippine Tourism Job Fairs in partnership with the Department of Labor and Employment, which yielded over 9,000 jobs for our fellow Filipinos. The DOT continues its efforts to provide training to tourism stakeholders, focusing on the areas of the Filipino brand of service excellence, as well as sustainable tourism. Through these efforts, up until this point, we have trained at least 6,784 industry stakeholders from various tourism sectors. Led by our President, to convey confidence and openness to the world that the Philippines is ready to receive tourists, we have been relentless in our efforts to ensure that we build upon this confidence through the various efforts that we have made around Asia, as well as our participation in the various Philippine economic briefings, where the outlook has always been the same, very positive for the Philippines. In terms of tourism equality, we're intent on diversifying the country's tourism product portfolio to include as well culture and the arts. We will expand our regional tourism circuits to link key destinations to lesser-known destinations, and we will further improve and develop our tourism portfolio, including sun and beach offerings, nature-based tourism, dining, diving, food, education, health, MICE, farm tourism, as well as the arts. In keeping with our commitment to equalize tourism product development and promotion, we shall put the spotlight on destinations and regions that were not as aggressively promoted. Of course, we shall facilitate the expansion of economic opportunities and tourism activities to serve the intent of the President to fully reopen Mindanao to tourism. We are very positive on the prospects of tourism recovery and economic resurgence, as the Philippines has remained a top-of-mind destination among international travelers this year, having bagged new and recurrent accolades from prestigious award-giving bodies and travel publications. Recently, the Philippines made it to the Condé Nast Traveler's 40 most beautiful countries in the world, specifically citing the remarkable cave system of Puerto Princesa, the mysteriously uniform chocolate hills of Bohol, and the panoramic views of Banaue and its rice terraces. The destinations of Boracay, Palawan, and Cebu were also included in the list of the 25 best islands in the world by Travel and Leisure magazine, while Time magazine named Boracay Island as one of its 50 world's greatest places of 2022. And we are very proud that in the recently concluded World Travel Awards, the Philippines won as Asia's leading beach destination. The Philippines also won as Asia's leading dive destination. And further, the Philippines, specifically Intramuros, won as Asia's leading tourist attraction. To provide a way forward, the Department of Tourism is undertaking the formulation of the National Tourism Development Plan for 2023 to 2028 to serve as a blueprint for the tourism industry. We will also be launching the Bisita Be My Guest incentive program in partnership with the Department of Migrant Workers. We are launching a tourist assistance call center, so tourists will feel safe as they travel across the country, as they will now have a number that they can call should any untoward incident occur. We're also developing a tourist life cycle app for the purpose of ensuring that we give digitalization to each and every single aspect of a tourist's life cycle in the Philippines. Most importantly, in the pipeline is to incorporate the Filipino brand in all gateways in the country to make it distinctly Filipino, and more importantly, to facilitate seamless travel for visitors for a stress-free travel for all. Further, in collaboration with the Department of Health, we are facilitating the improvement of health facilities in identified tourism destinations to give our tourists a sense of comfort should they encounter emergencies when they're in the Philippines. With all of you here tonight, we wish to announce the relaunching of the Philippine Tourism Awards, along with the Tourism Promotions Board. The Philippine Tourism Awards aims to recognize tourism-related establishments and individuals whose seasoned expertise and commitment have innovatively and creatively projected the Filipino culture and the Filipino brand. It will be divided into 5 categories: institutional awards, creative, individual, destination of the year, and special awards. These categories will have further subcategories to highlight the diverse skills and destinations within the industry. Through the Philippine Tourism Awards, we will also be identifying the best practices of local government units across the country, including provinces, cities, and municipalities, to further encourage LGUs to adopt tourism as a means to stimulate the local economy and herald our distinct culture and heritage. We also hope to motivate our tourism stakeholders to elevate and maintain high standards of tourism services that we offer to our guests. Next year, I hope to see you all again, and many of you as awardees of the Philippine Tourism Awards. I am also pleased to share before you all tonight that we're launching the Philippine Experience program that will be a culture, heritage, and arts caravan across the Philippines to herald the uniqueness of our heritage and culture through the entire sphere of the traveler's journey. The Philippine Experience will involve the development of immersive culture, heritage, and arts caravans aimed to diversify the cultural tourism product offerings of the Philippines. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, allow us to give you a glimpse of the envisioned richness, color, and diversity of these caravans through a parade of regions led by our Department of Tourism regional directors. From the Cordilleras to Ilocos, to Cagayan Valley, to Central Luzon,
ay magkaugnay. Hayop, hala,
Southern Tagalog, Calabarzon,
tao, ay
to the island provinces of Mimaropa,
lahat ng bagay ay magkaugnay. Magkaugnay ang lahat.
the National Capital Region,
Ay magkaugnay. Magkaugnay ang lahat.
to Bicol,
Ang lahat ng bagay ay magkaugnay. Magkaugnay ang lahat.
to Western Visayas,
Ay magkaugnay. Magkaugnay ang lahat.
to Central Visayas, to Eastern Visayas,
Tayo
the Zamboanga Peninsula,
sa mundong naglalakbay sa gitna
to Northern Mindanao, Davao Region,
ikot sa bituin na nagbibigay buhay sa halal,
to Soc-Sargen,
hayop at sa atin. Ang lahat ng bagay
to Caraga,
ugnay, magkaugnay ang lahat. Ang lahat ng bagay ay
the caravans will highlight living cultural experiences from food, festivals, Filipino wellness, pilgrimage journeys, and visits to centers of living tradition. We hope to rediscover our heritage destinations and historical places and immerse our visitors in the vibrant artistic traditions of the Philippines. Thank you to our DOT regional directors.
iisang hantunan. Lupa,
Our goal is to equalize opportunities across the regions and support the preservation of our country's cultural heritage and artistic resources. Through experiential travel modules, we hope to introduce the very essence of our nation more deeply to our tourists and instill pride of place and patriotism among the Filipino people through greater appreciation of our country's inheritance and legacy. The Philippine Experience, Culture, Heritage, and Arts Caravans draws inspiration from Cebu's very successful Suroy Suroy Sugbo, the brainchild of Governor Gwen Garcia, who honors us with her presence tonight. As part of our program, we are in for a special treat as we will be able to experience for ourselves the Suroy Suroy in a little while. As we move forward, the Department of Tourism remains steadfast in reaching our objectives to accomplish the vision of our President for the tourism industry to become a major economic pillar for the Philippines. We're just at the beginning of our journey. I assure you, the best days of the tourism industry is yet to come. Once again, daghan kaayong salamat kaninyong tanan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
Thank you very much for that very rousing introduction from our Secretary from the Department of Tourism. Please take your seats. Vice President Sara Duterte, the excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, of course, our Tourism Secretary, Cristina Garcia Frasco, and I must complete my greetings by also greeting our First Lady, the First Lady, Araneta Marcos, fellow workers in government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, magandang gabi na. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. I was watching the presentations that were made, and we really have to give Secretary Cristina a round of applause for all that she has already managed to do in, 103 days. And to show that we have very much to look forward to when it comes in the area of tourism. Very early on, even before I took office, in consultation with our economic managers, with even private businessmen, it became very clear from the very beginning that as we transform our economy, one of the possible and high potential drivers for the transformation for the economy was tourism. And the reason is, I think, to us all quite obvious, because we in the Philippines have been so fortunate to have been born to this very beautiful country. And even more so, we have been so lucky to be born to such beautiful people. And that's why immediately I said that this is something that we can show the world. And immediately this will come to help. All the preoccupation at the very beginning was we always talked about jobs. We always talk about employment. And I have a bit of an experience in Ilocos Norte when we promoted tourism very quickly. And it became very clear to me immediately that the upstream and the downstream employment that tourism brings is significant. And I thought that we should do this back to the Philippines. And I felt a great deal of sadness to watch during the pandemic these beautiful places that are slowly going to seed simply because we were not allowed to travel. So once it was possible, I thought immediately that this is a driver of our economy, and we must immediately do all that we can to make sure that this asset that the Philippines has must be used to bring jobs to people, good jobs to people, to bring visitors to our country, to once again, as we have said during the trips that we have taken these past few weeks, to reintroduce the Philippines to the world. And that, I think, is what we will be trying to do. And I think the Secretary has taken us in the very good direction to achieve that. And so the strategies that we decided to employ were really rather simple. And it is that we will develop our resort areas. We will develop those that are already known. We will also find new ones. But the government has to play its part. We will do all the publicity and we will welcome all our friends from all over the world. But the government has to do its have the people to run them, the staff to run them, and that's why the job fair was an immediate priority. That we have people to run these resorts to an international level. Another thing that we considered was immediately necessary was that we must improve the accessibility of all of these places, to have direct access to smaller airports, not necessarily the big airports of Manila, of Cebu, of CDO, of Gensan, but also to the smaller areas. And furthermore, that we must provide the infrastructure to develop that access, the infrastructure to develop the area. And I was just noting when I was when I first arrived, I said, well, precisely because the secretary in all our cabinet meetings is saying, but I'm to develop the infrastructure. I don't have the budget for it. We don't have enough money that has been given to us. And so you'll note that the Secretary of Public Works and Highways is in a very important place of honor, because I think the Secretary has some sinister plans on your budget, and of course also the Secretary of Trade and Industry, because we have to promote this, we have to put together these operations so that they are efficient, and we will get the testimonials from our visitors, and they will say that they will hopefully post, tweet, and say that I just came from Manila, I just came from a vacation in the Philippines, and it was absolutely wonderful. You should all come and try it. That is what we are trying to achieve. And we have achieved it before. And I think we can, especially with the very good people that we have asked and who have kindly enough agreed to help us. And that is, of course, our Secretary for the Department of Tourism, Secretary Cristina Frasco, our cabinet members who all immediately understood what it is that we were trying to do. And I really look forward, and I have great optimism, and I have great hope that this will be successful. And I believe that it will be. Because once again, like in all our endeavors in this government, we always come back to our greatest asset. And the greatest asset that we have in the Philippines are the 107 million Filipinos who are a young, well-trained workforce, who are as kind a people, as hospitable a people, as gracious a people as you will find anywhere in the world. And those advantages are what we are going to present and to, again, as I said, reintroduce to the rest of the world. This is the Philippines. This is the Filipino. And again, as I said, I'm confident because I have said this many, many times, that there is no warmer, more poignant sight than the smile of a Filipino. And that is something that we can introduce to the world. So I congratulate the Department of Tourism for all they have done. I would like to explain to you that, you know, when Secretary Cristina first took on the Secretary of Department of Tourism, she moved so quickly that I had to talk to the others in the cabinet, and I said, you know, she's making us look bad. We better quicken our game. So she keeps us on our toes, and she has always kept a very, very clear idea in her mind of what we are trying to achieve, and she has brought a passion and an energy that certainly we are going to need. But it is a passion and an energy that gives us confidence that we will succeed. So it is a great privilege that I am here today at this Philippine Tourism Convergence reception. And once again, congratulations to everyone in the DOT for the work that you have already begun. It is the dedication that you have shown. The listening tours that you have conducted are a very imaginative tool that are a perfect embodiment of our desire to connect with each other. And through these tours, you have exhibited the best way for us to unite and address the biggest concerns, seeing the perspective of those who are on the ground and understanding their experiences and situations. The approach that the Department of Tourism has taken in empowering the local government units, again, it comes from the experience of our secretary as mayor of Lilon, of a town in Cebu. And to do this with the partnership of all stakeholders and to include the LGUs, private sector, LGUs, this is precisely the kind of partnership that we have been endorsing, that we have been espousing, because it is my belief, and I think it is slowly being borne out, that that is the way to leverage whatever it is that you can do and to bring in the other elements, other stakeholders, anyone who can contribute to gain that synergy which you all hope to gain so that our efforts will be met with success. The avenues that have opened for all regions will be instrumental, not only in formulating the best policies, but also in determining better practices and the best projects for the industry. We fully understand how tourism can drive our social, our economic recovery, especially in the countryside, given the majestic and natural wonders and exciting man-made sites that we have within the Philippines. Following the pandemic, we need fresh and new ideas to bring back the imagination and confidence of our people from here and abroad, so they will be encouraged to explore the best destinations that the country can offer. Allow me to repeat that under this administration, the government will remain committed to ensuring that the inputs you have acquired from your listening tours will be optimized for the benefit of the sector. We want one of the key players in our nation's progress to be buzzing once again with life stronger than ever, so that they will be able to keep up with these fast-moving times. Seeing that the various stakeholders of the tourism sector and representatives from other related industries and businesses are here, it is well recognized how this event provides a perfect opportunity to talk to one another, to network, and to expand our plans for the future. All of you who have been and will continue to be partners with the Department of Tourism will be influential in achieving our goal to revitalize this sector. Thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you for your presence. I look forward to the roles that you will play, that we will play together in ensuring the progress and recovery of our tourism industry. It is my hope that this reception will foster a meaningful discourse and yield concrete plans that we can immediately put into action. It is my desire that genuine and sincere collaboration such as this will be part of this activity. I wish that initiatives for greater tourism, connectivity, and convenience will be pursued after this event. And I know that it will, because I agree and I know that I have spoken to many of you that we are together and of like mind when we think about that this is what we would like to achieve for our people. Again, my congratulations to all of you, especially to the DOT for the great start that you have made, to the Secretary of the Department of Tourism for your energy, your passion, and your continuing belief in the tourism industry in the Philippines. And let us keep going. We can, I believe, and I am certain in my heart that if we work together properly, if we continue from this very good start, and we continue that trajectory which we have started in the last 100 plus days, that we will succeed and to the benefit of our people and our country. Thank you very much. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat at marami pong salamat.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, let us give the President a warm round of applause.
And now, to join the President for a ceremonial toast, may we invite on stage Vice President Sara Z. Duterte, First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, Department of Tourism Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco, House of Representatives Deputy Speaker Congressman Vincent Franco Duque Frasco, Department of Public Works and Highways Secretary Manuel Bonoan, Department of Trade and Industry Secretary Alfredo Pascual, Cebu Governor Gwendolyn F. Garcia, Cebu City Mayor Mike L. Rama, Captain Stanley Nang of Philippine Airlines, Philippine Hotel Owners Association Executive Director Benito Bengzon Jr., Tourism Congress of the Philippines President Mr. Jose Clemente III, Philippine Travel Agencies Association President Ms. Michelle Thailand, Philippine Association of Convention and Exhibition Organizers and Suppliers President Mr. Joel Pascual, and SM Prime Holdings Chairman Hans C.
The Philippines ushers in a new era for tourism, built upon the strength of our cultural identity, our unity as a nation, and renewed global interest in our country's offerings. We toast to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. for championing Philippine tourism as a means for economic resurgence and the Filipino people as our strongest asset and ambassadors. We toast to Vice President Sara Duterte for her full support for the administration and our cabinet secretaries that truly spells a national government that is united for progress and prosperity. We toast to our local government officials as well as our members of Congress, our private tourism stakeholders, as our shared tourism governance will spell the success of our aspirations for a sustainable, inclusive, and resilient tourism industry. Let us all raise our glasses to the convergence of the Philippine tourism industry as together we transform the Philippines into a tourism powerhouse in Asia. To a progressive Philippine economy, cheers! Mabuhi o mabuhay. Daghang salamat.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you so much to all of our industry leaders and to our government officials present today for joining us in our mission to foster a unified Philippine tourism industry. Let's give our leaders a big hand. You know, aside from the national government, local governance is also important in boosting the travel industry. From highlighting scenic attractions to preserving heritage and amplifying the celebration of the local culture, local governments must make conscious effort to encourage visits and grow their local economy through tourism. And to show us how it's done, we zoom into the flourishing and best-in-class province of Cebu. And to take us through the Queen City of the South, let's watch this video presentation by no other than Cebu Governor Gwendolyn Garcia.
Cebu, home of many firsts. Here is where recorded history, as we know it, first began. The first Spanish settlement. The first governor in the country was proclaimed. The cradle of Christianity in the Philippines. Nestled strategically at the heart of the Philippines, Cebu is a leading hub for commerce and industry outside Luzon. A bustling metropolis which economic engines continued to run even when the world ground to a halt for 2 years. Cebu has so much to offer than urban living. The island enjoys the prestige of being a top tourist hub in the country and has proven to be a place that stays in the hearts and minds of travelers from all over the world. In 2019, Philippine tourism statistics showed that Cebu accounts for more than 20% of both domestic and international tourist arrivals in the country. This is even higher in the previous years. Mactan Cebu International Airport, which is the second busiest airport in the country, caters to almost 600 international flights and 1,500 domestic flights every week before the pandemic. In 2020, international travel magazine Condé Nast declared Cebu and the Visayas Island as the best islands in Asia. This year, Travel Plus Leisure ranked Cebu as one of the world's best 25 islands. This island of 44 towns, 6 component cities, and 3 highly urbanized cities have so much to offer. Moalboal Town, for example, has been a diving haven for the past 40 years and recently known for its sardine run. There is the whale shark watching in Oslob, canyoneering adventure in Alegria, scenic forests in Mantalungon, the gushing walls of waterfalls in Badian and Barili, and other exciting eco-adventures. Cebu takes pride in its old churches and historical landmarks. In the northern side, San Remigio has established itself to be a perfect beach getaway with its long stretch of shoreline. Further north is Bantayan Island, a haven for beach lovers. Malapascua Island, famous for its treasure sharks and abundant marine life. But it was during the Suri-Suri Sugbo tours around the province, the brainchild of Governor Gwendolyn Garcia, that spurred countryside tourism and gave birth to more investment opportunities. Suroy means to explore a place, so the repetition of Suri-Suri refers to the repeated exploration of this exotic island province that is Cebu. Groups of local and foreign tourists, balikbayan, and business investors explore the hidden gems of the province. such as the heritage sites of the Southern Trail, white powdery beaches of the Northern Escapade, cultural traditions and industrial innovations of the Midwest exploration, and the enchanting beauty of the Camotes Group of Islands. Since its inception in 2004, Suroy-Suroy Sugbo has transformed sleepy towns into travel itineraries for local and international tourists alike.
Suroy-Suroy Sugbo!
As an offshoot to Suroy-Suroy Sugbo, Pasigarbo sa Sugbo, or Pride of Cebu, was born, another of Governor Garcia's brainchild project on tourism and culture. Pasigarbo sa Sugbo is a grand cultural showcase of the different festivals in the province's 51 local government units. It was during the conduct of Suroy-Suroy Sugbo when Governor Garcia encouraged the participating towns and component cities to come up with their own festival that tells the story of their locality and showcase their local patrimony and delicacies, products and industries, world-class destinations, as well as the strength of the people's faith and devotion. Since it first went on stage in 2008, donning colorful costumes and dancing to the rhythm of their festival jingles, the local governments battle it out once a year during the grandest festival showdown this country has ever seen, aptly winning for Cebu the undisputed title as the festival capital in the country. The activity is also a living testimony to the ingenuity of the Cebuanos and the Filipinos in arts and culture. From then on, other programs sprouted: One Cebu Expo, the Our Cebu Experience, and the Lakbay Lokal, all of which promote Cebuano creativity and craftsmanship in local and international trade fairs. This is a huge part of tourism initiatives as it promotes Cebu's brand. When COVID-19 happened, the disruption in everyone's lives was tremendous. Businesses closed and millions lost their jobs. Farmers and fisherfolk had no one to sell their harvests to. But after a close scrutiny of the figures, Governor Garcia saw the grim reality that more Filipinos are suffering from economic inactivity than from the curse of the virus. As early as August 2020, she decided to reopen Cebu's tourism and was the first local chief executive to do so in the entire country. She was the first local chief executive in the country to junk RT-PCR tests for travelers coming to Cebu, giving way to a more convenient travel experience. The first to impose shortened quarantine days for OFWs and returning Filipinos.
As the challenge always has been to us, Cebuanos, the premier province of the entire country, the recognized #1 province in the entire country, we were the very first to stand up and say, enough of lockdowns. We decided to move on and to move forward.
Despite earning the ire of some critics, the governor stood her ground for the Cebuanos. Because of her bold and brave moves, Cebu was steps ahead than the rest of the country in post-pandemic recovery. In December of 2021, Cebu suffered the brunt of devastation brought about by Super Typhoon Odette, damaging 450,000 households and 2/3 of the island. In the wake of the calamity, the governor poured all her efforts and energy in finding ways to help Cebuanos quickly get back on their feet. When the dust had settled, Governor Garcia addressed the pressing need of the hospitality industry, which was greatly affected by the calamity and lacked financing support to rebuild what Odette destroyed, along with the agriculture and livestock industry that were immensely affected. Capital took the initiative to hook them up with financing institutions and government banks to fund their recovery efforts at very low interest rates. Now, Cebu has been rebuilt, emerging stronger and more resilient than ever, despite the double whammy, the crisis brought by the pandemic and the disruption on its recovery efforts brought by the super typhoon.
We have been tested. We have faced sometimes the most insurmountable obstacles. And beyond all that, we survived. We did not only survive, we prevailed. And we showed the rest of the country this is the way we shall go.
Cebu continues to lead the way, as other local government units would take a cue from Cebu's playbook in managing tough and challenging situations. Her recent bold move was when she issued Executive Order Number 16, making the use of face masks optional in open and well-ventilated spaces. This policy may have earned the ire of former national officials, but the voluntary wearing of face masks was later made a national policy.
In fact, the whole world has sat up, taken notice, and really recognized in all things, Cebu continues to lead the way.
More than the economic gains, Governor Garcia's initiatives strengthened the Cebuanos' pride of place, giving a different meaning to a once naive and vulnerable provinciano who has now transformed into someone with strong presence, decisive and proud, her being the primera provinciana herself. Even the negative impression of a jail detention facility has now turned into an interesting itinerary for tourists when the Cebu Provincial Detention and Rehabilitation Center became popular because of its dancing inmates. The CPDRC dancing inmates arrived at the world stage when prisoners were made to perform choreographed dance routines as part of their daily exercise and rehabilitation. Another of Cebu's groundbreaking innovations, CPDRC dancing inmates is now back, open to tourists on scheduled visits. Tourism will always be a sunrise industry for Cebu. Along with the province's many industries, it is a main driver in the local economy that propelled Cebu to heights never before reached. Cebu is united, and because of this unity, Cebu is number one. And where Cebu leads, the rest of the country follows.
Buckle up. We're moving on. We're moving forward. We're soaring to great heights because the best is yet to come.
Cebu is a festival island of the Philippines, blessed with faith, fun, and fiesta life. The Cebuanos celebrate life with unparalleled passion. All towns and cities of the island of Cebu have their own unique, colorful, and exciting festival. Ladies and gentlemen, the province of Cebu proudly presents Cebu, the Festival Island. Here are the Pasigarbos Asubo Festival of Festivals 2022 winners. The Hinulawan Festival of Toledo City. Toledo City, formerly known as Hinulawan, is popular for its rich source of copper, gold, and other mineral resources. The copper concentrate is the life source of the mining industry that has propelled Toledo to its cityhood. The huge copper mining industry has contributed much to Toledo in terms of livelihood, community relations, income, and economic sprout. It also brings pride to the city with numerous awards and recognitions such as Best Mining Practices for Responsible Mining. The Hinulawan Festival is a celebration of joy, thanksgiving, and golden success. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hinulawan Festival of the City of Toledo.
na mong maluluyon. Sa katalan man kami panalipti, sa Ginoo iampo kami. Sa Ginoo iampo kami. Hinulawan, hinulawan, bulong sa kalambuan. Hinulawan, hinulawan, nagaling sa kalampusan. Hinulawan, hinulawan, mahaling kini sa katawan. Sa Toledo ang hinulawan, kasa sa kahitan. Hinulawan, hinulawan, bulong sa kalambuan. Hinulawan, hinulawan, nagaling sa kalampusan. Hinulawan, hinulawan, mahaling kini sa katawan. Sa Toledo ang hinulawan, kasa sa kahitasan. Sa mundo ng pag-asawahan, pasadya sa kapistahan. Pagtingin ka sa amang luhan, maglibay na sa hinulawan. Hinulawan!
Thank you very much, the Hinulawan Festival of the city of Toledo. The Palaud Festival of the municipality of Bantayan, Bantayan Island. Palaud means to go out to the deep reaches of the ocean to harvest its bounty. It is an invitation to faith. Faith as expressed through talents and skills, relations and relationships, prayers, songs, dreams and ambitions, yearnings and needs, as Bantayanons move towards a culture of excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the dance of the fishermen and the festival of the seas. Tara na, magpalaud na kita!
Ganahan, damgong labing bililhon, hugtan ang pagtuon, ngadto sa kahitasan, mga muyok kang San Pedro, manalangin kang San Pablo, managtigong kita o mag-udyaka, mag-ambahan kita, sa ulog ang taang nakamtantang grasya, uban sa paghigugma, uban sa pag-unsayta, awit sa kalibay, awito ta, Bantayan, uni sa Palawo. Palawod, palawod, ato kita sa lawod. Palawod, palawod, ato kita San Pedro, manalangin kay San Pablo. Managtikong kita kung magpudya ka, mag-ambahan kita. Sa ulo puntaan na kamkantang grasya, uban sa paghigugma, uban sa pagbugsay ta. Awit sa kalipay, awitong ta, bantayan, muni sa Palaw. Palawon, palawon, ato kita sa lawot. Palawon, palawon, ato kita sa lawot. Tarapay, ato na kita, panakay kamo. Palawon kita, tarapay, ato na kita, panakay kamo. Palawon kita. Managtigong kita ug magpudya ka, mag-ambahan kita. Sa ulo mong tanakang grasya, uban sa paghigugma, uban sa pagbugsay ta. Awit sa kalipay, awito na bantayanon, kauswagan makaputa. Awitong ta, awitong ta, awitong ta, awitong ta, bantayanon, muni sa Palawan.
Daghang salamat! The Palaut Festival of the Municipality of Bantayan, Bantayan Island. The Dagitab Festival of the City of Naga. The city of Naga, Cebu celebrates the Dagitab Festival every December. The presence of different industrial establishments in the city has catapulted Naga to progress and development, providing hope and better quality of life for all Nagahanons. Dagitab manifests 5 pillars of growth: light, progress, industry, economic development, and employment. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Dagitab Festival of the City of Naga.
Tabi.
Ang gasang sa kinaiyahan nga naghatag og kalambuan, apan giabusaron ug nahimo kining kangitngit. Itanong kini simbolo sa usa pa ka higayon ug kahayag nga kaugmaon.
Sa ulong taan kalambuan mong kalampusan, pasalamat sa mga grasyang nadawan. Tungod sa kakugi sa kanunay, nagadan-ang ang kahayag sa Naga. Sa Naga, Dagita, isulit ang tanang Dagita, pasumbayan sa
industriya. Nakakakasayon sa panimalay, patigayon o sa paglambong ekonomikal yun. Nagitag, isinitang tanan, nagitag, ipasundayan sa katauhan. Maghalag o magpasalamat kitang tanan. Nagitag sa ulungon ka, kinitagitag, magsadya kitang tanan. Inubanan sa pangaman ni San Francisco sa Assisi. Isindita, nagitag. Kamapos rangon ka, anindot o pagkatakong sa gihatag mong kahayag. Kahamugaway o may kalipay na maangkon ng tanan. Tungod sa dagita, sa ulogon ta. Dagita, istinitang tanang dagita, ipasundayan sa katauhan. Maghalad o magpasalamat kitang tanan. Dagita, sa ulogon ta, kinit dagita, magsadya kitang tanan. Inubanan sa pangaman ni San Francisco sa Assisi. Isindita, awit ng tao sa yawon, ang kalamuhan ng kapilingban. Naga at ang garbon, huwag dagitap sa ulogon ta.
And that was the Dagitab Festival of the city of Naga. Here now is the Kapkaban Festival of the heritage city of Karkar. Kabkab is an endemic fern found in the city of Karkar. The abundance of Kabkab depicts the richness and great passion for music, arts, and culture. The leaf's proliferation represents the Karkaranon's love of music and the arts as an offering to the Venerable Monsignor Teofilo Camomot and Saint Catherine of Alexandria, thus giving birth to the Kabkaban Festival and making Karkar the heritage city of the province of Cebu. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Kabkaban Festival of the heritage city of Karkar.
Sa Karkar. karkar sayawon ta. Kung sa katanong nag-iantingan sa daghan-daghan igay dinhi madagdagan magpabiling ka kagkabandiya sa karkar sayawon ta ang kakaban ipasigar mo sa tanan sayawon ta ang kakaban ang sangka katalinaw ihaman ka aron mapadayon ang kalabuan na angkor sa karkar sayawon ta. Abunda ka sa daghang produkto klase-klase lang ang imong makitaan patilawan sayawon ta ang kakaban ipasigar mo sa tanan sayawon ta ang kakaban ang sangka katalinaw ihaman ka aron mapadayon ang kalabuan na angkor sa karkar ihalat na pinagdagan ang bansa inuwanan sa mga mas isang matatalinaw ihalat na aron mapadayon ang pagkakaroon sa karkar ipasigar mo ta.
Thank you very much. That was the Kapkaban Festival of the heritage city of Karkar. We now have the Rosquillos Festival of the municipality of Liloan. The Rosquillos Festival showcases the globally famous pastry found in the municipality of Liloan, the Rosquillos. A favorite snack in Liloan, it is a cookie with a hole in the middle, similar to a donut. The festival allows the municipality to promote its tourist spots while also helping the local community. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Rosquillos Festival of the municipality of Liloan.
Titay's Rosquillos is celebrating its 115th founding anniversary. As part of this milestone, Titay's is giving away a golden trip ticket to anyone around the world to experience the most delicious cookie in Liloan, Cebu, Philippines. The winner is from the United States of America.
Rosquillos
ulo ang kadasi sa kapistahan. Roskilius, Roskilius sa liloan, maukini ang labing kinahang sa katauhan. Ang mga liloano, lusurano, maabi-abiho, katawang puno sa paglaong, sa kahitasan masalibon. Liluan imong malantaw, kauswagan iba-ibabaw, ang parola di mailhan, sa hayag nga kauhaon akong tanan. San Fernando Rey, atong patron nga matinabahon, salamat, salamat sa grasyang naangkon, ang kapistahan mo sa ulogon na mo karon. Roskilius sa liloan, magbudya kapit ang tanan, isaulog ang kadasi sa kapistahan. Roskilius, Roskilius sa liloan, maukini ang labing kinahang sa katauhan. Roskilius sa liloan, Roskilius sa liloan, Roskilius sa liloan, Roskilius sa liloan.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is a song that talks about the beauty of Cebu and the Cebuano people, our history, our arts and culture, religion, pride, and tradition. Mabuhi ka, Sugbuanon! Mabuhi ang Sugbu!
Maglipay kita, karong adlaw, isaulog tang manang tigunta, awiton tanan sa makausa, ang awit nga muhigpit sa panaghiusada. Pagkadaghanang iagi ang tang mga pagsulay kasakitan pa, kay liblong kaman upay maluganan, ipasindungan mo pagkasubuanon ta. Mabuhi, 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 mabuhi ka subuano, lungan sa imong pagka-Pilipino. Mabuhi, 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 mabuhi ka subuano, lungan sa imong pagka-Pilipino. Sunod karon atong unahon, ang nasunod ang agibon.
gentlemen, ang mga garbo sa Subo, the pride of Cebu. Toledo City Performing Arts. Mayor, the Honorable Marjorie P. Perales. The Palau Dance Company. Mayor, the Honorable Arthur Despi. The City of Naga Performing Arts. Mayor, the Honorable Valdemar Chong. Karkar City Performing Arts. Mayor, the Honorable Mario Patricio Barcenas. Liloan Performing Arts. Mayor, Honorable Alju Fernando J. Frasco. Pasigarbo Festival Queen Mia Tamayo. And our heartfelt thanks to the Governor of the Province of Cebu, Governor Gwendolyn Fiel Garcia. Department of Tourism Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco. First Lady Attorney Liza Araneta Marcos. Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines, Vice President Sarah Zimmerman Duterte. And the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. Mga higala ang mga garbo sa Subo, the pride of Cebu. Daghang salamat. Thank you very much.
Magtangkulon simbahan ng Senyor Santo Niño, lugar sa katahumong gugma para kaninyo, laing-laing turista sa Senyor.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for gracing the event tonight. A celebration of a hopeful and exciting future of our Philippine tourism industry. Congratulations to the Department